Hi, I'm Scott. This is a video that's part of a 4-part series that I'm doing for my section hike along the Appalachian Trail from Troutville, Virginia, all the way up to Rockfish Gap, Virginia. This is at the southern entrance of the Shenandoah National Park. My total section hike is 133 miles. This video is part of a series of videos I have produced that's documenting my section hiking along the Appalachian Trail, all the way from Georgia up to Maine. This is part 4 of my 4-part YouTube video series documenting my 133-mile backcountry hike along the Appalachian Trail from Troutville, Virginia up to Rockfish Gap, Virginia. In this video, I'll cover days 7 and 8 of my section hike. Now this includes a massive climb of Three Ridges Mountain and all the views that are associated with that, along with the climb up the Cedar Cliffs and up the Humpback Mountain. Let's see how we did. Good morning. It's Thursday, September 19th. This is our 7th day of hiking. We stayed at a nice campsite. Slept great. Ate. Lots of water. We got a massive set of climbs this morning. Do a 1,000-foot climb over a mile. Then we're gonna take a break at a shelter. And then a 2,000-foot climb over 3 miles. And then we'll reach the last giant climb of the week. Once again, the only problem with these climbs are the scarcity of water. We've left a river, so we got 3 liters of water with us, which is like 6.6 pounds. Normally we would take 1 liter, get more at the shelter, but we're not sure the shelter spring is flowing. So we had to bring enough to last us most of the day. So doing the 3,000 feet worth of climbing over 4.5 miles was, basically 4 extra pounds. Sucks. Sucks. So, all right, so we're expecting good weather today. We are doing a climb at 7:30. So we're trying to get the climb done before noon and when the sun starts warming things up. I think the temperature last night got down to high 50s, maybe 58. Slept good. That's good sleeping weather. All right, catch up with y'all if there's anything to see other than just 3 dudes. Today it's me, Larry, and Pilgrim hiking. Pilgrim went across. He's a through hiker. Tell you more about him later. Bye. Good morning. Thursday the 19th. My morning selfie video. Today's our 7th day of hiking. Slept great at Ty River. We had some great campsites. Temperature got down to just dipped below 60, around 58. Good camping weather, tenting weather. Yesterday's day we did 20 miles. Really good day. Weather was fantastic. Terrain was good. We did almost a 5-mile descent, but that terrain sucked. It was rocky. Very hard on the feet. You couldn't get any rhythm going. So we climbed today. And I say we is me, Larry, and Pilgrim. And Pilgrim's a fella I met at the hostel. He's doing his through hike. 68-year-old fella from Pennsylvania. So he's going northbound with us and he's hiking at the same rate we do, which is about 2 miles an hour, counting stops. So he hiked with us yesterday. He's gonna hike with us today, and hike with us the next day as we go into Waynesboro. So he's last night was a milestone for him. he crossed over to 2,001 miles. So he's technically a 2,000 miler. So his through hike started in Harper's Ferry. I think it was sometime in May 1st or something like that. He went north to Katahdin, finished, which is the finish line, summited, then went to the start in Springer, and he's hiking north now to Harper's Ferry. He's got roughly 175 miles to go and he's done. So he's called a northbound wraparound, through hiker, northbound wraparound. Pretty neat guy. He's 68, Larry and I are 55. And hope I can do the stuff he's doing when I'm 68. He's in great shape. Wonderful guy to talk to. Fun times on the trail. It's always fun when you hook up with people who have the same skill set. You know, some people hike slower, some people hike faster, some people get anxious, some people are just goofy. But he fits in with our personality. So we're having a good time. So we're gonna have a good time on this hike. Whew, it's a rough one today. 3,000 miles, 3,000 feet over 5 miles. It's gonna be a rough morning. Hopefully finish it up by lunch. All right, later. All right, some people, this just came to me when I was hiking through the woods. People ask me, why do you do this hike and that? And, part of it is I work on computers all day long. So I'm plugged in, and I'm plugged in after work with my iPhone and social media and all that. And I work downtown in the city and live in the suburbs, and it's basically everything that man has constructed, from technology to city centers to living communities. And you get out here in the woods and you hike, you come into what God creates. You come into nature. The only thing man has done here is cleared out this little bitty path that you walk along. It's enough for one person. So you get a lot of solitude, you get unplugged, you get time to decompress, you get time to relax your mind, from things going crazy. All you do is you're focusing on stuff around you, nature. You're not focused on anything else. So, and sometimes you're lucky enough to see creatures such as deer and chipmunks, bears, snakes, all of God's creatures. But it gets you time to relax. So, by the way, that's not a snake. So, but that's what they look like on the trail. So your mind is focused on stuff like that, surviving. Don't trip, don't fall, don't get bit. Make sure you know where your water's at so you survive. Don't dehydrate like we did the other day. So your mind switches from all that other stuff, the technology-based society, to primal survival. But man, you definitely get a chance to unwind. You think about things totally different. And it gives you a different perspective on life. Okay, just want to give you some free-flowing thoughts on what's going on out here. Why would somebody subject themselves to living 7, 8 days, 6 months in the woods? And that's part of it. Later. This is the spot we're taking our break on. We came off the trail a little bit. It's just a rock face we're clinging to. It's Pilgrim, Larry, and my shadow. It cast a big shadow, just in case y'all were wondering.
There was an eagle or a hawk sitting on that. Yeah, it'd be an awesome picture. Falcon, anything other than a buzzard.
All right, it's noon. We finished our 6 mile climb this morning, over 3.5 hours, and 3,000 feet. And that wore me out. So we're hiking along a ridge. Now it's fairly flat. Heading toward lunch. Peanut butter and jellies. So we're done with our last 4,000 foot peak for this section hike, and all the way until we get to Massachusetts for Mount Greylock. So it's kind of a big deal for me and Larry. So you know, we almost finished this section in Virginia, and then we move up to mid-Pennsylvania. So this moment's a pretty big one. I don't know, we got something like maybe 25 miles left of this section hike. We'll finish up tomorrow early afternoon. All right, later. So what do hikers who climb for 3.5 hours, 3,000 feet up to 4,000 feet, what do they do for lunch? Well, they come out on a ledge like this, which is, here's over the top of the ledge. I don't want to go over the top, but that's a death trap. So, but they come over that, and then they get this view for lunch, and I'll give it to you right here. We just climbed up that. That's 3 ridges. We just climbed up the backbone of that thing, we think. That's why they call it 3 ridges. You got 1, 2, 3. So we climbed up that thing from the Ty River, which is way down there somewhere, and we get this view for lunch. It's fantastic. All right, lunch view. Hey, we're at Cedar Cliffs. It's kind of like Tinker Cliffs down there by McAfee Knob. I mean, you can see forever in that valley. Of course, the camera's not picking any of that up, but we are looking forever. There's a mountain range right there that's real far away. Yeah, pan over here, and forest fire over there. Kind of cool. You don't see that every day on the AT. So forest fire after Cedar, right outside Cedar Cliffs. There's a farm down there. Should be interesting. All right. Tell you what, it's been extremely rocky from the 4,000 foot, forget the name of it, 4,000 foot peak right after Ty River. And we're getting ready to climb up the Humpback mountain. So stay for the night. All right, later.
Was this a dream you've had for a long time?
I would say not.
No.
Maybe when I was a kid, I did one.
All right, good morning. It is Friday, September 20th. It's our last day hiking this 135 mile section of the AT from Troutville, Virginia to Rockfish Gap, Virginia. Last night we tented, we being me, Larry, and Pilgrim, in a stealth site on a spur trail to the Humpback Mountain picnic area. Today we start with a 2.8 mile climb up the Humpback Mountain. Whew. Temperature got down to 48 degrees, kind of chilly, but after about 3/10 of a mile, took our jackets off. Now short sleeve shirt, hike pants. Larry's got shorts on. Pilgrim's wife met us this morning. Brought us McDonald's, orange juice, hash browns, egg McMuffin to give us some morning fuel. So looks like we're coming up to a view, and I'll get back with you. All right, Friday, September 20th. Been doing a climb up the mountain. Comes our first view, morning view. Let's see what it looks like. Oh
well,
yeah.
Actually, not a different way.
Didn't we come down? We walked
Nice.
that thing.
Yeah,
I'll step beside you.
Yep.
Pilgrim.
So I thought it was down underneath us. Wonder if we just
We
walked.
were looking at it from a different ledge on this same mountain.
Is that a hotel or something over there?
That or condo, because you got the ski resort.
Ski resort to the left.
See all the
Oh,
open
that
yeah,
is
look at
cool.
the condos right along the ski resort.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah. And you see the fire
Ski
from
resort.
yesterday?
No, where's the fire? Oh, I see the fire. Okay. So that's a ski resort.
You can get that condo,
Some kind
you
of
just come out and
apartments or condos on that ridge. That's not rocks.
I'm not sure what that white thing
And
is.
over
Looks like a
here-
dam, but probably another
Oops.
hotel, I guess.
Right through there's the fire smoldering that we saw yesterday.
Yeah, at least that looks better than it did yesterday.
yeah, it looks like we're not gonna get
Under control.
All right, let's see if I can zoom into those.
Yeah. Smoke gas.
So that's
Yeah.
zoomed in about 10 times. There's the ski resort.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All right, we keep climbing on our way to Rockfish Gap, or Humpback Mountain, and then Rockfish Gap is our destination for today. Later. All right, 13.1 miles. We're at the end of our hike today on Friday, September 20th. I'm gonna cross these guardrails. This is the Blue Ridge Parkway. And
Okay, we're on the Blue Ridge Parkway.
right there at that little brown shelter up there where that guy's standing in his car, that's Skyline, in his bike, that's Skyline Drive. That's where the Shenandoah National Park starts. And over there in the popcorn stand area is my car. I can see it. Made it 8 days, 134 miles. And there's my car, my Edge, with the Louisville Cardinal license plate on it. All right, we made it. 8 days in the woods, 4.5 miles from Troutville to Rockfish Gap, the southern edge of the Shenandoah National Park. I-65, I will take that all the way home straight. All right, we're done with it. That wraps up the 4-part YouTube series I have that's documenting my 8-day section hike along the Appalachian Trail for 133 miles from Troutville, Virginia up to Rockfish Gap, Virginia, the southern entrance of the Shenandoah National Park. Well, we finished. We went 8 days and 133 miles with no water. It didn't rain for 8 days. It didn't rain for 8 days before we got there. Everything was dry. The springs were dry. It was really incredibly dry. This reminds me of the drought of when I hiked in 2017 in Georgia, where at every crossing there was gallons of water. Except there were no gallons of water waiting for us at these trailheads. Luckily, we were able to get water when we were pulling into the hostel at Glasgow, Stanwell's, and they kept resupplying us with fluids. So without that, we'd been in trouble. So it was tough out there. It was hot and humid. It was a lot of climbing, a lot more climbing than I expected, and there was no water, and all the issues associated with no water, especially in that heat and humidity and doing all that exertion for those big climbs. Now, it may appear that I'm just whining and complaining, but in reality, if you go look at all the different sections, and there's roughly 22 sections along the Appalachian Trail, over 2,200 miles. This section is routinely ranked as one of the top 5 hardest sections. Matter of fact, it's ranked as one of the top hardest sections in the southern half of the Appalachian Trail. So it's not just me complaining, it is a difficult section to hike. Now, even though this was a difficult section to hike and there was a drought going on and there was no water, this was still fun. I may not have appeared fun on some of those videos, but we saw some amazing sights, such as, I'm going to have to read these off because there's so many of them, but we saw the numerous overlooks along the Blue Ridge Parkway. We saw the FAA Tower. We saw Apple Orchard. We saw the Guillotine, the James River Foot Pedestrian Bridge, the longest span along the Appalachian Trail that's dedicated only to foot traffic. We saw Glasgow and the dinosaur, the resupply, that a lot of people talk about in their YouTube videos, but they don't show this dinosaur very often. Bluff Mountain, and that was a tough climb. And then we went over to Coal Mountain, which was a beautiful bald, right? And it was magnificent, and they had the clouds rolling over, so it was a great view. Then we went to Spy Rock, and that's where Pilgrim and I went, and Larry skipped it. I don't know what happened there, but it was a fantastic 1/10 of a mile off the trail, beautiful views. And then we went to the famous priest shelter. We got to read the log of all the people who are confessing their sins at the priest shelter, which is really quite funny. A lot of them I couldn't put on the video because they were kind of, nasty, but they were funny all the same. And then we got to Chimney Rock and Hanging Rock, and that's where we had our snacks and our lunch, and just some spectacular views of the mountains. And finally we came along Cedar Cliffs, which reminded me a lot of Tinker Cliffs, and we had that big view, and we got to see the forest fire. And then we finished up with Humpback Mountain, the big climb. And then finally we got the Rockfish Gap, the end of our journey, our 8-day journey, 133 miles. And we got to go to the popcorn stand, have a hot dog, a Mountain Dew, and some caramel popcorn. Hope you learned something from this video. I hope it inspires you to go out and hike this section of the Appalachian Trail, the AT. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Click on that subscribe button below on the play pause button. And don't forget to click on the bell to get notifications when I add content to my YouTube channel. If you like this video, click the thumbs up. If you dislike this video for some reason, click the thumbs down. If you have any feedback, leave it in the comment section below. Thanks for watching this video. And remember, go out there and hike the Appalachian Trail, the AT.